Hello, everyone. I'm Juwairia Farsana, a member of Gindi Times, the official campus magazine of CEG, ACT, and SAP. It's extremely joyous that we have Mr. Shrutanjay Narayanan, IAS, who secured an All India rank 75 in the coveted civil services exam. I'm happy, nervous, and excited all at the same time, sir. It's a privilege. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and thank you, Gindi Times, for reaching out for this interview, for this opportunity. And please don't be nervous. You're making me nervous and anxious as well.
No, no, no.
This is
Yeah.
just a fun conversation.
Yeah, so let's start on a fun note itself. So let me start by rekindling some college memories. So, how was your life at College of Engineering Gindi? Can you share any fond memories?
College of Engineering Gindi. So, first it was a choice that I took because I was learning some music and I was doing theater just before I joined college. So, I wanted to pursue theater, but that was one of the reasons why I joined CEG. And also, geography was something that I took in my 11th and 12th as well. Not many people study geography after 10th standard, but I studied in a school called Sishya, where in the ICSE syllabus, they allowed you to take geography as a subject. So Anna University and CAG in particular was one of those colleges that had an undergraduate degree in geography. So these were the couple of reasons why I took it. And true to the first reason of why I joined it, I had a senior, Amitash Pradhan, who also acted, I think, who is quite popular now. He's acted in VIP, and he was very popular initially. He was quite a role model for me in theater also. So that was one of my first fond memories, right, of reaching out to Amitash and saying, Ami, I'm going to come to CEG. He was much senior. He was in the media science department. And I said, I'm coming here only to do theater.
So you said you were really interested in theatre, really interesting, considering that your father, Chini Jain sir, is a well-known figure in Tamil cinema. Were you ever inclined to enter into the Tamil cinema industry?
To be very honest, not. I really hadn't thought of it. But in 11th, I was acting and singing in school a little bit when I was much younger. Then I think 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, till boards, not much. But 11th and 12th, I acted a lot in school. I was quite active in theater. In school, we won. In 12th standard, I directed the play. We won that. So all of that, these kind of small things were like confidence boosters, but never considered it professionally. Certainly not cinema. For me, I associate theater with just the process of meeting people, getting people together, and putting up a play, the adrenaline rush that you get of going on stage. I think all of that, and I think also of having made a lot of good friends in the process. So theater started very late, like 11, 12th proper. Adukapram CG, just before I joined CG, I joined another professional theater company called Kriya Shakti.
So did you enjoy the course of study you chose in CEG, geoinformatics, and could you tell a bit about your life after graduation?
Geoinformatics, I think, is a wonderful field, but I don't think people who study it make the most use of it because I don't know. It's just that it's an application-based science, right? You need to GIS use pandatri, you need to know a little bit of electrical, you need to know a little bit of computer science, you need to have a strong base in mathematics. But ours was, I think the subject was more like studying for UPSC. So I didn't, sit for placements because I didn't want to go to these IT companies. At that time, very interesting program was launched in Delhi. It was called the Young India Fellowship by this now very, very reputed university called Ashoka University. And my guru, my music teacher's daughter, was a fellow there. She was a Young India fellow and she had just gone and come back. And it looked absolutely fantastic. You had people like Gopal Krishna Gandhi and Ramchandra Guha and Kenwin Smith and Srinath Raghavan, Devesh Kapoor. Name them the best in the field of public policy, in the field of think tank in academia were all there. And I was like, oh my God, I think there was a thirst to learn more intellectually because I was always interested in the humanities. So geography, if you think also, is not core engineering, right? Geography is also about people, places, resources, space and time. So I think to some extent I wanted to know so much more about what our country is, and I was still figuring out what I wanted to do, and I thought the YF will be one place where I can.
Next is from engineering to UPSC. How did this leap happen?
If I was a proper engineer, I don't think the leap would have been, I think it would have been harder. I think this leap was much simpler. Like I said, so I went and studied at Ashoka, and that was the first time I was introduced to many frameworks of thinking which I hadn't as a student of science, as a student of engineering. The things were about logic, it was about deduction, it was about reasoning, it was about facts, it was about all of that. And to suddenly think about the world in a very different way was fascinating. Right? How do you understand friendship? Uh, that was the first course that I did. I was like, friendship is friendship. Like, I'm having a conversation with you, we're just friends. But there were people who had done PhDs on a subject like friendship, like, looking at it from so many frameworks, from love to romance to, war, what is, love and peace between countries, between genders, between in media, like the show Friends itself. What is the idea of friendship that is shown there? It's an absolutely brilliant course. So I think that was the first time I was like, like, you don't think about, as I've never studied sociology or culture studies or anything of that before. And in particular, when we learned about the environment, when we learned about media, when we learned about the nation itself, India and India's history, it was fascinating that, that I hadn't known so much before. And, just the way you engage with the world around you changed, right? What are so many social issues around us and all of that. So that, I think, gave me to some extent an itch to learn further on what I want to do and where I probably want to invest my time and energy. So I think the development sector was something that I wanted to work in. So immediately after the YF, I worked with NASSCOM Foundation. NASSCOM is the industrial body for software and services, and they have a development wing, which is called NASSCOM Foundation. And I was working with the CSR wing for a skill development project. So there was a company called Genpact who was the donor. So I was working in Hyderabad and in Delhi, Gurgaon, for implementing education and a skill development program that they were doing for graduates in finance and commerce. So, how do you bridge that gap? How do you give them it was an intervention where you gave them a course, which is like a bridge course, and then you gave them placements and you measured the outcomes, which was interesting. So that was the first job. So it was interesting to work under. Really, I've also had the privilege of only working under women bosses. So really cool bosses that I had. So got to learn a lot from them, of being away from home, of earning. But it was nice. It also made me understand how the corporate setup works in terms of evidence, in terms of metrics, in terms of measuring things. Right? That's very, very important. Now in government also, we keep speaking about evidence-based, data-based policy, geographical data, spatial data, human data, everything is data, right? So I think I was introduced to all of that for the first time. So the Panitra Kamoda, I was wondering, okay, engineering Panitra, the YF, because I wanted to do development sector. But sorry, their development sector, if you wanted to do things at scale, right? The civil services in our country certainly is one of those avenues where you can actually make scale at impact. Impact at scale, where the number of lives that you can actually make a difference to is much larger. And at a much younger age, you get to make decisions, you get to make choices, you get to do things live on the field, which you can directly see, okay, இது நான் பண்ணதுனால இது நடந்திருக்கு, இவங்களுக்கு பென்ஷன் கிடைச்சிருக்கு, இவங்களுக்கு தண்ணி கிடைச்சிருக்கு, இவங்களுக்கு வீடு கிடைச்சிருக்கு அப்படிங்கிற, at least that immediate effect of the investment that you're making in a particular intervention, you can directly see. And also that, like I mentioned, that intellectual itch which had started after YF. நம்மளுக்கு இவ்வளவு விஷயம் தெரியலையே, இதெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு விஷயம் என்னன்னாக்கா, சரி யூபிஎஸ்சி படிச்சாக்கா, it's also a reason where you can learn a lot more things, and if you get through, you can also do better things, which is also aligned to what you want to do in life. So I think it all came together because both of these things happened. I think a little bit of this higher education and a little bit of corporate experience both helped, I think, in making in helping me to, take this choice to study for the UPSC exam.
By what means do you think an IAS officer can bring a change in the society?
Even today, an IAS officer, and that's something that I'm learning here, is one of the, at least in the initial part, in the initial 5-10 years of our careers, is the one person who anybody in the district would know of as the government, right? We don't know, the government of India is sitting somewhere in Delhi, state governments and state capitals, but in a village, in a block, in a panchayat, in a district, the immediate connection to any citizen of the country are the IAS officers, right? And they have the role of coordination, they have the role of implementation, lastly. So to that extent, a district in our country is as big as many countries of the world in terms of population, in terms of size. So to that extent, even if you're doing something in a district, it's almost like what the president of an island country or, some other country is actually doing. So there is a big impact, right? Because in terms of just scale, you're touching the lives of so many people, right? A waste management initiative in Indore or a smart city initiative, in Bhopal, all has a very, very big change on the lives of so many people. In Tamil Nadu itself, you have great initiatives that have happened in terms of just digital delivery of public services, right? You have the e-Seva Mayams, which have now come up in our state, when we're pioneers in that. So, how do you kind of make the lives of citizens easy? Right now, elections are coming up. How do you ensure that the entire election process is easy in a democracy, which is so important? All of these decisions are made by in everyday touch base, from when you're born to when you die, from your birth certificate to your death certificate, there are so many ways in which an IAS officer actually has an influence and can make a positive impact on the lives of people. And I think it's our duty and our job to make it as easier as possible through processes and through institutions, so that people actually live and achieve whatever they can achieve and fulfill their own potential.
Now, going back to the days of your result, how did you react when you got to know you were one of the top 100 rank holders?
I was sleeping because I'd worked late in the night, and my father was the one who kind of knocked the door and he told me. I think I was ecstatic. It took me a couple of days for the entire family to really, for it to actually sink in. There were so many calls, such beautiful messages, so many people who were just, wishing, calling, my father, my mother, my brother.
What was your preparation methodologies for the interview round?
These days, interviews are getting hard, but there's the process of how you can prepare for it. And that's something that I've learned after coming to the academy.
Can you brief about your study routine during UPSC preparation?
Consistency, practice, patience. My study routine